Hi everyone, so I wanted to start a little video series while everybody's stuck at home where you guys can come along with me while I'm working the horses. So today I'm going to be long lining Bree. She's a saddlebred mare, and we're going to be working on bending and suppling and long lines. So I set it up GoPro style so you guys can see exactly what my view would be, and hopefully it's not too wobbly for you guys. Okay, so this mare doesn't want to bend as good to the left today, so we're just going to kind of keep incorporating bending to the left. I just want to keep her going forward. Anything funny that she does, I really don't react to it. I just send her forward. So I'm holding my outside line pretty steady. My inside line, I'm just applying little tickles. I'm not sure if you guys can see what my hands are doing. Just kind of squeezing my hand, kind of like you'd squeeze a sponge. Look. I want her to give to my inside hand in the direction of the bend. So something that I want to add, since I'm doing this kind of like GoPro style, because of the way I attached my phone, it almost looks like I'm pulling and I'm not. So I just wanted to put in this little clip so you could see from the outside what it actually looks like. So as she comes around here, you can kind of see that I'm actually lifting my hand and I'm just kind of giving that little squeeze that I talked about. So I think it's the lift that you're seeing that almost looks like I'm yanking on her. And I tend to do this when I ride as well as when I line. I kind of like to lift my inside hand or my bending hand just to encourage them to lift that shoulder as they come around. So something we've been working on with this mare is actually getting her off the forehand. So you guys can see that she is a saddle seat horse. And just because they have lots of motion and their head is up does not mean that they're not on the forehand. So in lines, the way I give a half halt is very similar to the way I would in saddle. I kind of just slow my body down, create a little resistance in my lines. I close my hands, and I might cluck. I want to send her on because I want her to engage from behind into my bridle. I want her to slow her front end down. Girl. You can see she's pretty soft to the right. She wants to bend pretty nice. And again, when I half halt, and she completely halted, and that's okay. I'm gonna send her back forward. I'm gonna bring her off the rail. I'm just closing my inside hand, asking her to bend. So now I'm gonna hold my outside hand, which is gonna be my right hand right now. Whoop. I'm just gonna keep sending her forward. I'm gonna tickle my inside hand. I'm gonna hold my outside rein. And I'm gonna tickle my inside hand. And I want her to soften. Good girl. There, good girl. Good, good girl. And I'm gonna bring her off. Yeah, there you go. See how she's got that nice arch, just a little sideways? So I'm gonna send her a little forward. Good girl. There she's good. Oh, good. Okay, so see, I don't know if you guys can see, she's softening into the bridle. There you go. She's looking for the bit. So, big part of my program here is I want these horses pushing from behind and reaching into the bridle, whether they're a saddle seat horse, a dressage horse with their head down, a hunter, doesn't matter. I want them pushing from behind and looking for that bridle. I don't want to be holding them back on the bridle and doing all the work. Really want them to use their bodies and round up. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, so now that she's starting to calm down and she's starting to bend a little bit better, we're gonna start some serpentines a little bit more off the rail and work on changing our bend. Good girl. So same thing. Just wanna keep her moving forward. Little tiny tickle in the direction of my bend. She's kind of resisting me there, so I'm gonna make this, it's not gonna end up being a circle, but I'm gonna go back around. Good girl. Something really important to remember is they learn on the release. They do not learn by you pulling on their face and take. They learn when you give. Horses are always going to resist pressure. So you're not going to physically be able to force a horse into a frame. So since she's not going as well to the left today, I'm gonna try to do, if I make a loop once to the right, I'm gonna try to make 2 loops to the left, which is fine to the right. She's got a nice little arch through her body. Good girl. You guys probably can't see this, but I have my lines set differently on the left versus the right, which maybe when we're done I'll show you. So I'm actually going to start incorporating some little teardrops instead of the serpentine. So I'm going to come to where E should be, which it's not on our wall. I'm going to ask her to come back to the rail. Whoop, go half out. And I know that she's going to kind of hit the bridle and get a little heavy and toss her head, and that's okay. I'm just going to send her forward. So the reason I'm going to the teardrop is because I can kind of stick one wherever I want, and I can kind of just come off the rail a little bit and make my own teardrop wherever I feel like without having to really do a full loop to the right. She really doesn't need to do loops to the right today. I'll just hold my outside. A little tickles, little lifts on my inside. Send her forward into the bridle. Good girl. Good girl. So my ultimate test in lines and under saddle to see how supple they are, and especially to see how supple they are left to right, is I like to do a shallow loop. You can really see the quality of the bend in both directions. Shouldn't do too bad this way. If we were to go the other way, I'm sure it would not be as pretty. Good girl. Girl. I like to incorporate a little bit of backing. So stop, we'll back up 2 or 3 steps just to get them rocked back on their hind end, and then we'll walk off. Good girl. So just like riding, I really just stopped my body, closed my hands, and said, whoa. I didn't pull on her. I didn't make a big deal. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Ooh. Good job. Ooh. And just halting. Keep her thinking and listening to me. So something that I didn't talk about, she is a saddle seat horse. And you'll notice her head is not super, super high today. So I purposely let this mare kind of drop over more like a hunter because she can be super high-headed, and part of her getting super high-headed, she tends to get a little hollow. So I like to line her, not with her head super low, but I just like to let her drop over like a hunter and just kind of reach for that bit. Something to be careful in lines, they can, especially if you're going to line in a draw line, they can get a little behind the bridle, and she may be a touch behind right now. So you want to just make sure that they're going forward and they're pushing up to the bit.